you don't actually have a cohesive ethical framework for what it is you believe. It feels like a switch went off in your brain, and you're trying to sound crazy now.
Now you actually did say something that made me angry.
Uh-oh.
So
oh, now you've...
Let's talk about
I wasn't going to go sicko mode. But
0% of you are subscribed. Fix that.
Aloha. If I may, I would like to take a couple quick breaths.
Yeah, hit it up. Do your deep breathing exercises.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not used to talking in front of thousands of people, so I do get a little stage fright. The general gist of what I'm trying to get at is that nations, revolutions, and countries are basically products of their environment, more or less, and they are a byproduct of their conditions. Would you say that is a reasonable assessment? That
You're asking me if I'm a dialectic materialist, and my answer is going to be yes, of course.
Wonderful. What are your thoughts on the French Revolution? Just curious.
Before we get started on this, I'm sorry, I'm going to need to be a little bold and ask you what arguments you would like to make with me and what disagreements you would like to suss out, you know? Just so I know before we get too involved.
There are two things that I would like to outline. The first one is your advocacy of market socialism, and the second in the way that you basically talk about socialism in practice and people that advocate for socialism in practice, and how it is in general counterproductive to treat these people the way that you do.
Okay. In that case, which of the two do you want to go over first? Do you want to go over the economic positions, or do you want to go over my relationship to what you would call existing socialism and I would call a Frankenstein, pathetic amalgam of socialist ideals crammed into a state capitalist nation? Which would you prefer to hit first?
Well, yeah, I'd like to start with that. Frankenstein's monster, so to speak, as you called it. I will start by saying that the Soviet Union isn't solely defined by the Stalin administration. The Bolsheviks were struggling for a society free of class.
I don't believe they were doing that.
I mean, as a consequentialist, surely understand that sometimes you have to make necessary compromises in order to realize the long-term goals of the movement.
Then they failed.
And
they made their society inequitable, unequal. They magnified and reified class structures. They never achieved any of the principal tenets of socialism, and in the meantime, they killed many people.
Wait. So, four things. So, class society.
We're going to need to focus on this point by point. So, hold on. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really interested in running down all the point by points with you. So, the Soviet Union was undeniably not a socialist country.
I would say one thing I would like to say is that I don't necessarily believe that a democratic component is needed in order to classify a country as socialist.
Marx would have, by the way. By your definition, Napoleon Bonaparte was a socialist.
How did you even reach that far? What the fuck are you talking about?
So if you don't need democracy and all you need is social control of the means of production, in the case of the Soviet Union, social control means state control. Napoleon Bonaparte was an emperor with complete control over a state. There was no democratic element.
But he still simped hardcore for the capitalists.
Wait, hold on. Laissez-faire capitalism was not at that time developed. And by the way, there were. Wait, please. Look, the problem is if you say social ownership of the means of production, which is a huge cop-out, social ownership implies that there's some sort of collective.
How is it a cop-out?
I'm trying to say that. Some sort of collective decision that a given entity manages the means of production. But if that's the case, any autocrat could be said to be that leader. Hitler was widely loved by his population, and he had, at the end of the day.
No, he wasn't. His popularity dropped after World War II. He was
dead after World War II. Wait, hold on.
His approval rating fell off a cliff after World War II.
He was dead after World War II. So if you don't need democracy for socialism, how do you ever ensure that the means of production are socially controlled? Do you just mean whatever leader controls it? How do you determine that it's socially controlled if it's controlled by the state and the state isn't a democracy? By the way, even if we're to grant this position, I would never accept a non-democratic state under any circumstances.
They subsidize the arts, they subsidize movies, they subsidize industry.
So you're making Nazi tier arguments right now. So let's back up a couple of tiers.
Why do you have to conflate me with Nazis, dude? Why do you have to try and like deliberately piss me off?
Please don't sound like Mel. Oh God, please don't do the Mel thing. Please understand how comparisons work. Okay. So why were the pharaohs then not socialists? So what the pharaohs did was they subsidized the arts, they were beloved by their people, they were non-capitalist, they had social control of the means of production because the material circumstances of their time prevented democracy from being able to develop organically, and they would utilize the economic resources of their society towards great works programs. So how were the pharaohs not socialist?
Why are you like willingly misunderstanding and misinterpreting what I'm trying to say?
So the problem is, and this is going to be the entire convo if this keeps up, it's not that I misunderstand your arguments, it's that you don't actually have a cohesive ethical framework for what it is you believe. So when I repeat your arguments back at you, but using figures, people, and countries you don't like, it makes you angry. You think I'm misunderstanding and misrepresenting you, but in reality, all I'm doing is showing how
I'm not angry.
Frivolous your arguments are. So
I'm not angry, and if you gave me the time, I could explain the different conditions and economic relations, but it's irrelevant anyways. I want to get back to my main central point. I would like to say that you are doing a great disservice to the proletarian cause by constantly comparing the Soviets and communists to Nazis, considering I don't compare communists to Nazis.
I only compare the Soviets to it. You're not. You're a Soviet, or you're a Soviet defender. The thing that I want to do is distance me and communism. Hold on. I want to distance socialism as much as possible from you lunatics. So the more I do to publicly indicate how horrible you all are, the more I do for the proletariat. So just so you know, in the Soviet Union, workers were paid wages. They worked quotas that were given to them by party officials, unelected party officials. They were paid.
You don't know what wage labor is. They were elected. They were elected by these.
They were elected by other party officials. So
they were elected by. It was councils. It was
by councils of party officials. Non-party officials did not vote on who became a party official. I know more about this than you do. So
no,
Soviet workers were paid.
There was council democracy, so all the workplaces were consolidated within Soviets.
So we can't have this conversation if you're not educated enough on the Soviet Union to even understand how their economy worked. So the Soviet Union.
I'd like it if you, just 1 second.
We're not actually going to get through this, are we?
You're the one who started insulting me.
Okay,
so just to try and get an emotional response.
From my perspective, I want you to understand my material conditions.
To make me look bad. That's exactly what you're doing right now.
We need to be able to talk, or we can't do this. Okay. The reason why I'm being rude to you is because, as far as I'm concerned, you're a pestilence on my movement. You're a group of state-worshipping autocrats who completely misunderstand what socialism is and don't understand the society. Wait, you actually have to stop. You actually have to stop interrupting.
Since when is it your movements? I thought it was our movement.
Please.
Since when is it your movements?
Please.
Are you
need
just
to
trying
stop
to build
being
an audience or a movement?
Please.
You're trying to build an audience or a movement, Vaush?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. So the problem that I have is that from my perspective, you people, and by you people I mean Tankies, are nothing but counterproductive, and you harm our ability to advance the working class interests of the proletarian around the world. So from my perspective, I'm just speaking with a fascist of a different aesthetic. So I just debated 2 Nazis in a row, and now I'm debating you, and they all feel very similar to me.
So you don't know what a market or commodities are.
So here, let's describe a difference.
You don't know what markets and commodities are.
A command economy, which is what a...
You don't know what markets and commodities are. Oh my god, he's so fucking stupid. He doesn't even know what commodities or markets are.
Ooh.
You're a fucking idiot, dude. I hope you enjoy the grift while you can, because this isn't going to last forever. You're going to be selling pencils from a cup in like the next 5 to 10 years.
Like I was saying, man, I didn't need to put any work in to make you sound fucking crazy. All it takes is a little gravity. Wait, no, was that a Joker reference? Crazy. Pencils? Because in The Dark Knight, he did the pencil trick? Want to make a pencil disappear? Were you doing 2 Joker references in a row, the laugh and then the pencil?
No, I'm laughing because you don't know basic Marxist economics, and you pretend like you do.
I'm laughing because you're different. You're laughing because we're all the same.
You don't even know what do you know what commodities are? What's a commodity, Vaush?
So
hey, what's value?
The emotional state that you're in right now is a product of something. It's probably insecurity. Do you want to talk about that? Because the way you're acting right now, I never act this way when talking to people.
Armchair psychology, dude. Man, I thought I was going to be stressed out and angry, but you are the most entertaining human being I've ever talked to in my life.
Holy shit. Extraordinary coat posting. So the way you're feeling right
Keep projecting, asshole.
the way you're feeling right now is, it's a way I've felt before too, though I don't act on it the way you do. And it's usually the feeling I get when I come underprepared to a discussion. Because it feels like a switch went off in your brain and you're trying to sound crazy now. Was there a
You have soft
point?
hands, Vaush.
Do you want to, just while we're rounding off the lunatic bingo, do you want to, like, call me a Jew before you go, or?
No. Why would I want to call you that?
Because I just had 2 debates with Nazis. I'm feeling some parallels.
Your mind state is that of a pathological bourgeois liberal socialist. Want to talk about market socialism, Vaush?
Wait, you don't, but you've already flipped the crazy switch. What's there to talk about?
What I would like to say is you have a nation that at the start of the century was literally semi-feudal. It was a backward, semi-feudal, agrarian peasant backwater that became an industrial superpower and saved the world from fascist terror.
We're doing it again. Wait, first of all, let's not talk about the Soviet Axis talks. I'm talking about saving the world. Those fuckers nearly joined them and did for a while too.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Like, hold on a second. Now you actually did say something that made me angry.
So now you've...
Let's talk about
I wasn't going to go sicko mode. But now
okay. So let's talk about the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact.
We're not talking about the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, we are, because you said that the Soviets almost joined the Nazis.
No, I said I said the Soviet Axis talks. Do you know about those? Or are you being defensive because you only know of one of the 2 talks that they had?
Like, what makes you think Stalin trusted the Nazis? He didn't trust anyone.
Wait, no head of state trusts any other head of state. All I'm stating is the factual point, which the Soviet Union attempted to become the 4th Axis power under Stalin, and the only reason they didn't was because Stalin wanted Bulgaria, and Hitler was not willing to give him Bulgaria.
So, okay,
you want me to read it out loud to you? Wait, hold on.
No, you don't need to read it.
This is interesting. You didn't know about this. That's okay. So, anyway, this is interesting. The negotiations included a 2-day conference in Berlin between Soviet Foreign Minister Vyacheslav Molotov and Adolf Hitler. The talks were followed by both countries trading written proposed agreements. Soviet foreign policy calculations were predicted by the idea that the war would be a long-term struggle, so German claims that the UK would be defeated swiftly were treated with skepticism. Wait, we're almost at the good part. We're almost at the...
You're reading from Wikipedia, dude.
So,
like,
again,
straight up.
Right, so...
You're a Wikipedia scholar. You're not going to send me actual references. You should know, of all people, that Wikipedia is one of the worst places you can go.
Are you a college graduate?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, then wait, hold on. What subject?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, my field, because it was part of the humanities. Hold on, my field, because it was the humanities. I actually had to learn a lot of stuff about the ways in which people cite their research. And what I found is that usually when people get super salty about Wikipedia, it's not because they actually take issue with the information. It's because they didn't know it, or because they just don't like that info. I know this because I argue with a lot of, you guessed it, Nazis. And if you look up any Wikipedia articles on basic components of World War II or of Nazi ideology, they'll say, Wikipedia scholar. Now, of course, if I wanted to, I could sit an idiot like you down, and I could look through all of these specific cited links at the bottom. I'll mute you until I'm finished. So, if you want, I could actually, like, go through all these citations at the end, and I could point out, like, how all this puts together. But Wikipedia exists so people like you can understand complicated topics.
And irrespective, let's rein things in a bit. So,
well, wait. Anyway, hold on. Wait. My general rule these days is that I don't continue arguments when the person.
Talking about market social,
we can just let you finish, I guess.
Aren't you? You're a real slippery one, aren't you? We were talking about market socialism. Where this is the beauty of the no moderator free debate format, is that you can slip and gish gallop.
If you believe that a moderator in this situation would be favorable towards you, you're delusional, my friend. Because anytime you get mad at me, which is very often, you're a very mad guy, you just talk and you talk and you talk. But as a general rule, I don't usually continue convos when we reach the point of the other person just denying evidence because it came from a source they didn't like. You might as well be calling Wikipedia Jewish controlled.
When did I deny evidence?
That's okay.
Also, you're making a fallacy of equivalence.
All right, there we go. Yeah, that went about as good as I expected. That guy was just as crazy as Mel. Wow, it's almost like Tankies are literally just Nazis. They just happen to align with a different group. My God. I think he was worse. He may have actually been worse. He was super, super mad. And it was so clear that he didn't know about the Soviet Axis talks. It was really clear he didn't actually know about it. So when I mentioned it and he actually got angry, and then he realized I was talking about a different thing. He was like, oh, and then he like did the Joker laugh. Oh my God.